Hi everybody, can you smell what the chef is cooking? If you can, I'll go and check your kitchen because I ain't cooking anything. It's nearly midnight. I'm here to play some spooky games, and so I've chosen the uncle who works for Nintendo, which you can get on itch.io. So let's see what this is about. Play with headphones for the best experience. Occasionally it may take control of your browser. Content trigger warnings, click here. Okay. You are 11 years old. What is your best friend's name? I know a Michael. We'll go with Michael. He's invited me to a sleepover at his house. You've been friends since first grade, so asking your mom is basically only a formality. You've never confirmed this, but you suspect the babysitter may charge extra when there are two kids. You sometimes feel like staying somewhere else is the only way you can help out. Your best friend Michael has invited you. Okay, back here. Only a formality. On Friday night, you're home for only a few hours, long enough to pack, get into a fight with your younger sister, some more, and watch some telly. Yeah, we say telly, we don't say TV. It's telly. At 6 sharp, you're standing on the sidewalk outside Michael's house while your mom idles in her car nearby. She leans out the window to you. You behave yourself, okay? She says, as always. I'll be at work, but if anything happens, you call me. Ah, okay, Mum. I'll pick you up tomorrow at 3, she says, again as usual. But then she pauses, looking up at the sky, which has been overcast throughout the day. If you play outside, she adds, be careful, it's probably going to rain. Hi. After you part, your mum drives down the street, disappearing around the corner. You turn back to Michael's house. The lights inside are glowing warmly. You can see Michael waving at you from his bedroom on the 2nd floor. We head inside. It is 6 p.m. Michael's mom meets you just inside. Hello, she says. Dinner will be ready in just a few minutes, but you can drop stuff off in the den. You and Michael are camping out there tonight. Cool. You drop your sleeping and overnight bags in the corner of the den and then pause to take a look around. Behind the couch, a grandfather clock is ticking softly. Through a set of patio doors on the far side of the room, you can see the sky is just as grey as when your mom left. Speaking's hard. Framed pictures line the walls, and over the dark fireplace hangs a monstrous pair of antlers from a buck that Michael's dad shot years ago. And of course, there is the big screen. Telly. Sorry, I like the word telly. I'm not going to lie. It's one of my favourite words. Sometimes it makes you uncomfortable how much nicer Michael's house is than yours. Anyway, you drop your sleeping and okay, back here. It catch me off guard sometimes, like going back to the previous screens. Michael entered the room while you weren't paying attention, and he now stands in the doorway smiling expectantly. Are you ready for dinner? He asks. Sure. Dinner passes quickly. Tonight's meal is spaghetti and meatballs, one of Michael's favourite meals, as his mother points out whilst piling a helping on your plate. The real talk, like, I'm not a big fan of spaghetti with like anything with tomato sauce, just because it's sloppy. It's so sloppy. I usually have rice. I know some people like look at me weird, but it's so much easier to eat with rice, and it's really nice as well. But spaghetti, it's just like, get a bit of fusilli. It's a bit easier to eat. With spaghetti, it goes everywhere. I wear a lot of white as well. I love my white clothes. So, rant over. Dinner passes quickly. Tonight's meal is spaghetti and meatballs, one of Michael's favourite meals, as his mother points out was piling a helping on your plate. Michael's father cracks a beer and jovially interrogates you about how much trouble you and Michael are getting into school. Dessert is heaping bowls of ice cream drizzled in chocolate sauce. You can't even finish yours. Click cracks a beer. Wait, that wasn't a beer at all. That's a glass of lemonade. Why would you even think it was a beer? Michael's father doesn't drink alcohol. You're quite certain of that fact, now that you've remembered it. Well, whatever. The grandfather clock in the den chimes. You go along now, says Michael's mom, smiling from her side of the table. You'll clean up in here. Let's go get the telly ready, says Michael. The two of you leave the dining room and head upstairs. Michael's room is immense. You stay in the den because the telly is larger there. But there's a sizable one here, flush with the wall opposite the full-size bed. We'll take the 64 down first, says Michael, heading towards his telly. I wish I could just find and replace TV. It would be easier. Heading towards his telly and opening the entertainment centre cabinet. Sorry, I really like telly. It's just a nice word. It's his prerogative, of course. He gets to choose what you play first usually. But as Michael begins unhooking the cords of the N64 from the telly, you catch sight of the other things he has in there. So for you youngsters, Nintendo 64 as a console came out in the late 90s. It was awesome. Don't play it now though, it's aged terribly. 3D games have come a long way more since the late 90s. We had some classics. Oh, Super Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, GoldenEye, but don't play GoldenEye, you'll only be disappointed. All the major stuff. An old SNES, a PlayStation, a Dreamcast, but some other things too, things you don't really recognise. A large black box with green highlights, a small purple one, a strange white and yellow tower with a look like gloves resting on hooks on either side, a compact white cone. What are those? Michael looks to the clutter in the cabinet. Oh yeah, he says. They're pretty cool. I can't show them to you though. They're still secret. I promised my uncle. Of course, you suddenly remember his uncle. The uncle who works for Nintendo. Back at the grandfather clock. Michael is parked in front of the large telly playing something on the Nintendo 64. Let's look at the frame pictures. You walk around the perimeter of the den inspecting the pictures idly. Most of them are family portraits from years past. Michael cradled lovingly between his mother and father, or any one of the three on their own. A happy, tidy family. We looked for pictures of his uncle. You don't find any, not one. The only pictures here are of Michael and his parents. You don't know why. That makes you feel uneasy. Time passes. We'll talk to Michael. Would you like to talk about games? You have a rather one-sided conversation about whether RPGs on the PlayStation are better than the old SNES ones. An hour passes. The clock chimes. You are in the den. I haven't heard any sound come out of this, by the way. I don't know whether that's normal or not. Watch him play. Michael decides you should play the next game alone. It's pretty boring. You're at a party having a conversation with a man in a business suit, but for some reason, you can't move the camera up to see above his mouth. He's always smiling. He tells you a story about how people always mistake him for someone else. Did you figure it out? Michael asks. Once the man in the game has apparently stood up and left the conversation. Figure what out? Michael laughs. I guess not, he says, before putting his choice of game into the N64. You realise you played for quite some time. The clock chimes. You are in the den. Michael's mother bustles into the room holding a large ceramic bowl filled with popcorn under her arm. How are you kids doing? She asks. Good, says Michael, his eyes not moving from the telly. I hope you're having fun, says Michael's mom. Here's some popcorn, extra butter. She places it on the floor by Michael. Almost immediately, Michael is shoveling popcorn into his mouth. Meanwhile, his mother strikes first at him and then back at you. Oh, smiles, not strikes. Horrible be going on if his mother struck him. Let's start over. In fact, let's quench my thirst first. Meanwhile, his mother smiles first at him and then back at you. There's sodas in the kitchen if you get thirsty, she says, and some pizza from the other night if you get hungry. Okay. She looks at Michael. Your father's gone to bed. I'll be there soon myself. I want you two to keep it quiet, all right? Yes, Mum, Michael says tiredly. Oh, and before I forget, she adds, your uncle called. He suddenly has some business here in town tomorrow, but he's driving in early. He'll be here around midnight. But for the first time, Michael stops playing his game, stops eating the popcorn, and turns to look at his mother. Okay, he says. I want you two to welcome him in. He'll be very tired and very hungry, so offer him something to eat before he goes to bed. Okay, Mom. Good night, kids. And with that, she's gone. Back at the grandfather clock. Don't think we clicked the grandfather clock, have we? It's 9 o'clock. Let's think about his uncle. Oh, it began with Mew. You didn't believe him at first, when Michael came to school one day and told you he finally caught Mew. Prove it, you said. So he pulled out his Game Boy and showed you. There it was, Mew, the 151st Pokemon, available only to players at promotional events, somehow unlocked on Michael's game. It's really strong, he said. It KOs every enemy in one hit. Probably not every enemy. Michael demonstrated this claim at recess, when you and some other friends linked Game Boys to do battle. Those were the days. You were the first one down. No one else got a single hit on Michael's Mew. You asked how Michael managed to get it. We'll do no one else first. In a few days, everyone had quit playing Pokemon at recess. The allure had faded. Don't think that ever happened. I think we were Pokemaniacs till the bitter end of school. My uncle got a job at Nintendo, said Michael. We were walking home together, past one of the construction crews. Michael still lived next door to you at the time. Oh. He also got me this new Game Boy, said Michael, pulling it out of his pocket. You hadn't noticed it earlier, but yes, Michael now had a sleek new Game Boy Color. Until today he had one of the old ones, a big grey brick like yours. This one's special edition, said Michael. Isn't it cool? You agreed. I had the see-through one. You could see all the circuit boards through it and everything. I can't remember what Game Boy Color one I had. I think it might have been a purple one. I remember the Game Boy Advance and the SP more. I loved my Game Boy SP. I've still got it upstairs. You snap out of your reflections. Is it still 9 o'clock? It's 9:30. I thought about him for a long time. So why is your uncle coming? Michael shrugs. Business. So I thought he worked for Nintendo. He does, says Michael, frowning but not looking away from the telly screen. He's really important there. Does Nintendo have a lot of business here? Why else would my uncle be coming? Michael says, as if you've asked the dumbest question in the world. It's cool. Oops. Oh, I clicked over it then. We'll never know what it said. Pause it. We'll just drop the conversation in silence. I twitched and did a double click. I must be getting nervous about the uncle. Actually, you can ask him again. Before we work for Nintendo. Nintendo have a lot of business here. Yeah. Well, it's cool. I'll finally be able to get to meet him. Yeah, Michael agrees. I think you'll like him. What sort of work does your uncle do? Michael pauses the game and turns towards you, visibly agitated. How should I know? I don't work for them. Right now he's not quite yelling, but you think if you keep pressing the subject, he might. We'll drop it. Drop the conversation in silence. Let's go to the bathroom. We need to abloot. You head to the bathroom, down the hall from the den. There's a shower, a linen closet, and a toilet. Stick shower. Shower is pristinely clean. The linen closet. It's a linen closet, filled with large fluffy towels and washcloths. You're not sure why you looked in here. Toilet. You don't have to go right now. Says who? You head back to the den. The clock chimes. You are in the den. It begins raining outside. Return. Bowl of popcorn. You grab a handful of popcorn. It's buttery and delicious. You grab a handful of popcorn. It's buttery and delicious. You grab a handful of popcorn. This is how I eat popcorn. Let's go to the kitchen. Passing through the empty dining room, you enter the kitchen, which is also deserted right now. Fridge. There are a few things here. Soda, cold pizza, milk, a water pitcher. You grab your snack and exit the kitchen. You head back to the den. Should we think about his uncle? Can we get something new? Construction crews. There had been a storm not too long ago. Trees were down all over town. Buildings had collapsed. You were standing at an intersection with Michael as a truck rumbled by, loaded up with ragged tree trunks. What a bad storm. Oh, my uncle got a job at Nintendo, said Michael. Michael still lived next door to you at the time. Wait, this couldn't have been too long ago. When did Michael move? There was something nice about being neighbours. That sounds suspicious to me. The clock chimes. You are back at the den. Let's ask about the uncle again. Your uncle stays with you when he visits? Yeah, Michael says nonchalantly. He is pretty far away, and so he just drops by. Isn't that a little weird? Michael gives you a look you don't like very much. How would you know? He asks. You don't even have an uncle. Yeah, I guess so. You drop the conversation in silence. Must be talk to Michael again. Yeah. Ask if Michael thinks the storm will be as bad as the last one. I don't like the sound of the wind. You remember that storm we had that tore down all the trees? I don't know what you're talking about, says Michael. You don't remember? Remember what? The storm. It happened a few weeks ago. It was huge. It took down the trees. Michael shakes his head. If it was that important, I'm sure I would have remembered it, he says. You fall silent. School. Michael tells you that he heard a teacher you both had the... Let me start over. Michael tells you that he heard a teacher you both had the grade before is in the hospital. You ask why, but he doesn't know. You spend time reminiscing about the prior year. An hour passes. The clock chimes. You are back in the den. The grandfather clock chimes the hour as Michael suddenly looks up from the 64. It's time, he says. Time for what? Someone knocks at the front door. That's him, says Michael, standing up. I should go let him in. As he leaves the den, you realise you could follow, but a part of you really feels like being scarcer a bit. Let's follow. The knocking continues persistently as you follow Michael to the front of the house. Outside the pebbled glass of the front window, you can see a tall, dark shadow. Michael goes to the door, undoes the deadbolt, and cracks it open. You can come in, he says, to whoever stands out there on the porch, then looks over his shoulder at you. Sorry, he says. Before you can ask what there is to be sorry about, the door slams open. Bad expression, hello child, bad expression, come closer child, bad expression, no more worries child, no bad expression, I am hungry child, bad expression, no more worries child, bad expression, hello child, bad expression, fear equals none, bad expression, screaming equals cease, bad expression, stop it child, hello child, hello child, hello child, undefined error. The uncle who works for Nintendo. Okay. I guess we got multiple endings. You met the uncle who works for Nintendo. Things are a little weird here. Try to run. It may turn to be a game of hide and seek. Are these tips? Alright. We'll start in the den. One quick question then. Was your friend's father drinking beer at dinner? Go for no, he doesn't drink again. Okay, so it's 7. We'll just blitz through some of these. Think about his uncle. I guess we need to try and unlock as many dialogue options as possible. But then we get a water picture. Okay, there's a popcorn. Okay, none of that's changed, so it doesn't matter whether I thank her or not. Did she say that before? I want you to welcome him in. He'll be very tired and very hungry, so offer him something to eat before he goes to bed. Don't know if she said that last time. Maybe she did. Remember my own Mew? You got your own Mew eventually. Another friend had a Game Shark, which you borrowed one day. We're in the UK. Action Replay. That was your fella. You spent that entire night unlocking every Pokemon you couldn't obtain in your copy of the game, or hadn't yet traded for, including Mew. It didn't one-hit KO most enemies, it was incredibly weak, and you shamefully cheated the game further to make it strong enough. It even looked different from Michael's. Your Mew was small, even cute, standing there with its round, cheerful eyes. But when Michael's had wiped out everyone at school, it had a completely different, compact, snarling, fierce. You asked him why. What? He said. That had been here in the den. Oh, that thing? It had been a while since anyone talked about Pokemon. Well, my uncle got me a special edition Mew, first of all, he said, smirking a little, but not looking away from the PlayStation game he was playing. That's why mine looked different. Second of all, mine can one-hit KO everything, because it's the real Mew. I could have moved by then. How long was it after the first storm they got the Mew? You asked what he meant by that. Just what I said, Michael replied. You cheated and got a fake Mew, so of course there'd be problems, glitches and junk. You felt your cheeks redden. But not me, Michael said again. I got the real Mew, and only me. My brother was so jealous. Michael's brother. What about him? What does remembering that comment make you feel uneasy? You snap out of your reflections. Ooh. Let's ask about the storm again. Do you think the storm will be as bad as the one we had before? I don't know what you're talking about, says Michael. You don't remember? I actually forgot about it until tonight. There was this huge storm a few weeks ago, I think. If it was that important, I sure would have remembered it, he says. School. You asked Michael how he did on the math quiz you had trouble with. He got an A, of course. The clock chimes. You are back in the den. It begins to rain outside. You feel like you might have to go to the bathroom. Toilet. You go to the bathroom and wash your hands. Are you done here? You head to the shower. Don't have to go right now. You head back to the den. Oh, it's 10:30. Back to the kitchen. Get another pitcher of water. You head back to the den. The clock chimes. You are in the den. Your uncle stays with you when he visits? Yeah. He lives pretty far away, so he just drops by. Yeah, we've been through this before. My uncle will be here soon, says Michael, looking at the clock. Shall we get stuff ready for him? Let's just play one more game, he replies. You pick. As you begin ruffling through the pile of cartridges by the telly, you realise Michael is staring at you. You turn to stare back. Is everything okay? Michael shakes his head. No, sorry, I was just thinking. You shrug and then pick a cartridge from the pile. How about this one? Michael nods. As you plug it in and start at the console, you hear him behind you. Hey. Thanks for spending the night, he says. You play together for a good while. The clock chimes. You are back in the den. The grandfather clock chimes the hour as Michael suddenly looks up from the 64. It's time, he says. Time for what? Someone knocks at the front door. He did say sound was important in this game. No sounds come through. I don't know, apart from one sound, which is a bit weird. That's him, says Michael, standing up. I should go let him in. As he leaves then, you realise you could follow. We'll be scarce for a bit. We'll run into the bathroom. You run down the hall to the bathroom and lock the door behind you. At least, this could have been a bathroom. The walls are bare and white and there's no sink or toilet. But there are a few odd featureless white boxes that could stand in for a shower or a linen closet. What did I poop in? You go into the plain white box that's about the size of a linen closet and close it behind you. From the front of the house you can hear a front door slam open. Or heard that then. After that you don't hear anything except bad expression, child. The rain, no, not just the rain, but that voice in the back of your head like bad expression, I am coming for you, child. Like something you can't even begin to describe. Though you lock the door behind you, you can hear it open easily. Something walks in. Close your eyes. You're not sure how you know something is out there because you don't exactly, bad expression, oh child, hear it moving. But you know it's there, and you know it's stopped, bad expression, poor child, right outside your hiding spot. It opens the door, even though you immediately realise it doesn't have any hands. I don't know why, but is this missing now? Since like the whole Mew thing was like prevalent, is this missing? Well, I get the feeling like if it's got no hands. Oh child, oh I am so hungry child, you cannot run child, hello child, no more worries child, hello child. Struggle, cease, screaming, cease, I have friends for you child. Friends for you in the dark, you will play forever in the dark. The uncle who works for Nintendo. So there we go, we got our run ending. It's definitely weird here. You feel like you don't spend, like, call your mom and has to be taken home. Ooh. Start from the beginning? Okay, we'll try and breeze through most of this. I didn't get the option to call mom. Maybe I'll have to say like, yes mom, kiss mom goodbye. It's 6 PM. Great. As mom meets you inside, they'll be ready in a few minutes. It's not. Frame pictures, big screen telly. I feel so this is the kind of game where there'll be some changes in the text. Yeah. Cracks open the beer. Grandfather clock heads upstairs. It says Michael begins unhooking the cords and you catch other things in there. About those look cool. They're pretty cool. I can't show them to you though, they're still secret. I promised my uncle. The uncle who works for Nintendo. Talk to Michael about games and hour passes. Go to the kitchen. I guess I need to find a phone. Go back to the den without getting any food. How about if we keep going? Nod silently. It'll be around midnight. With that, she's gone. Put pictures of Michael uncle uneasy. Go to the kitchen again. Go back to the den. Begins raining outside. Like going to the kitchen and coming back's wasting a lot of time. I'm not sure how I can get my mother to come and pick me up. I'll have to just keep doing that until the uncle comes back. Just waste my time. Bathroom. Talk to him about games again. Is your uncle here? Someone knocks at the front door. We'll be scarce. We'll go to the kitchen this time. This passage does not exist. The bathroom. You slip into a plain white box about the size of a shower. You can hear the front door slam open. I can get the set child. Set I am coming for you, child. You can hear it opening easily. Just hold my breath this time. You hear it moving, right? So I doesn't realise it has her hands. Yeah, we're back here again. So how can I activate it so I can call me ma'am? The uncle works for Nintendo. What other endings? Then what you can ask questions, have a serious talk. So we've got to get Michael to fess up about the uncle. Some things you remember don't match what. I'm not. We'll say I'm not sure what I saw. That way we can assume he's had a beer, which might make us worry. Think about the uncle. We'll do our usual. Try and click everything. Try and get as much information as we can. We'll look at the pictures. There's nothing with Michael's uncle in. Ask him about the storm. Ask him multiple times. Remember my own Mew. Look different, look fierce. We talked to him about games. Is it on the floor by Michael? Thank you. That all looks the same. Time passes again. Wait, no, something's wrong here. Where's Michael's brother? Think harder about the brother? He was older, not much, 1 or 2 years. A jerk sometimes. Not any more of a jerk than you are to your little sister. When it snowed, your mom would pay him to shovel the sidewalk outside your house. He lived next door. His name was... You can't remember his name. Are there any pictures of your brother? Michael pauses the game he is playing and gives you an odd look. I don't have a brother, he says. I can't remember him. There's a long moment of uncomfortable silence broken only by distant thunder, the Nintendo, and the clock ticking. Such a weirdo, says Michael as he turns back to the Nintendo. The subject, it seems, has been dropped. Time passes. The clock chimes. You are back in the den. It begins to rain. Ah. What time is it? 10. Oh, is this not going to be enough? Passing through the empty dining room, you enter the kitchen when the phone sits on the corner. You dial your mum's work number and wait. She picks up after 3 rings. Ooh. It's 10 o'clock too late. I want to go home. Something in your voice seems to give her pause. Okay, she says, after a moment. I'll call the sitter and tell her to come and pick you up. It'll probably be about an hour. Is that okay? Can I make you get here any faster? That's not going to happen, honey. Just sit tight. Yeah. Of course, she says, with a hint of a sigh. I'll call her now. She'll be here in an hour. Be safe. She hangs up. Return to the den and pack your things. The clock chimes as you enter the den. Michael doesn't even look away from the TV as you come in. Telly! Announce that you're leaving. Michael stands up, not even bothering to pause the game. No, you can't leave. It's almost time. Almost time for what? You can't go, says Michael, ignoring your question. There's so much stuff I had planned for tonight. I was going to let you play next Zelda game. That one's not even out yet. Before he can say anything, he's already running upstairs. Michael continually runs up and down the stairs, bringing you games and consoles while you pack up your things. Every time he presents something new, you ignore him or brush it off with an uncaring shrug. Please, Michael says. Just stay. Stay the night, please. Outside you hear a car horn honk. No, you say, and with your night bag slung over one shoulder, you march to the front door and exit into the night. As you walk to the sitter's car, you see your little sister in the back seat, still in her pyjamas. The sitter, a high school girl who lives down the street from you, looks incredibly unhappy to be here, but you think you'll be able to handle her. As you climb into the car, you cast one last look over your shoulder, back to the house. Michael is standing in the doorway, totally still, not screaming, not crying, not doing much of anything. The car begins to pull away from the house as you watch. You see his parents appear in the doorway behind him. Don't wave. Without acknowledging you, Michael's parents lay their hands on his shoulders. They turn Michael back into the house, the door closing just as everything slides out of view. When you turn around in your seat to look out at the back window, you can't even see the house's lights. Michael doesn't show up on school Monday, or Tuesday, or Wednesday. On Thursday, you ask your teacher, Mr. Scott, where Michael is. He blinks at you confusedly. Oh, he says eventually. Michael, well, I'm surprised he didn't tell you about this, but he and his family moved away. The house is empty when you ride your bike by that afternoon. It somehow seems even larger without anything or anyone in it. A for sale sign stands in the front yard out front. Go home. You never see Michael again, and eventually, as the years pass, you forget about him entirely. So did they run away so the uncle couldn't eat him, consume him? I don't know. So our clue for the next ending. Some things you remember don't match what you see. Learn what you can, ask questions, have a serious talk. Don't be mean, but still, get out of there. I'm not sure what he saw. I guess we got again, sort of question about the uncle, question about the brother. Let's think about the uncle, let's think about Mew. Let's think about how the construction, the storm plays into it. The clock chimes. You are back in the den. Remember my own Mew? A different, soft-looking Mew. Talk to him. I kind of look at the pictures and do about the brother yet. Popcorn. The encore. It's the summit is wrong. Look harder at the pictures. Are you sure Michael has a brother? And why can't you remember his name? Where is your brother tonight? It's cool, Mom. But we'll just say things are really weird here. Never mind. Sorry. Begins to rain. Ask about the storm. Ask about the games. Ask about school. It's time. Stop being weird. Someone knocks at the front door. Follow. Yeah, back at this ending. So how can I figure out an ending? Where we talk Michael into spilling the truth or something. Let's say he doesn't drink. Let's watch him play. Let's play co-op. Play for a level or two. Play games. We'll play lots of games. Maybe that's how we befriend him. Watch this. On the screen, Link is in the Temple of Time. Michael heads to a corner of the map, and after walking back and forth a few seconds, he phases through the wall. I found this the other day, says Michael, running his avatar through a huge room with arched ceilings. What are you going to do with it, you ask? Michael doesn't say anything, but smiles as Link reaches the end of the room and stops in front of the shining golden light of the Triforce. Wow! Link saunters forward and grabs the Triforce. Triumphant music and a lengthy cutscene plays as Link poses with the Master Sword, which now glows gold. Now the game really gets cool. You have unlimited bombs, arrows, and go into the past as an adult. Accordingly, he shows things off for a while. The clock chimes. You are back in the den. Ask about Uncle's visit. Do with the uncle, bowl of popcorn. Think about the uncle. Watch Michael play again. You can play, I'll just watch. Don't think I've done anything normal breath. What can I do? What do I need to do that's different I haven't already done already? Learn what you can, ask questions, and have a serious talk. I guess the path to both of those endings is the same. Not sure what I saw. Frame pictures. Uncle. Think about Michael's uncle. The whole Mew thing again. Remember the storm. Still can't do the brother yet. Talk to Michael, ask about the storm. We'll go through different combinations. What I can say about the storm. Remember my Mew? Mew. Think hard about the brother. Ask Michael about the brother. Maybe I can go to the kitchen. Thought I might have bumped into Michael's mum or something in the kitchen. Stuff for Nintendo. What does Nintendo do here? I'm not sure I believe you about your uncle. Michael takes a moment to respond, as if he's not quite sure he heard you correctly. What? I don't believe your uncle works for Nintendo. Here we go. You think you've finally done it. Michael stands up, fists clenched at his sides, mouth twisting horribly as he struggles to say something. You watch as he takes a step towards you and you clench your teeth and wait. Michael darts forward and pushes you back into the hardwood floor, cracking your skull against the carpet. You take the initiative and throw a punch before he can go for you again. You shove yourself off the floor and send your fist into Michael's stomach. For a moment you're shocked at what you've done as he stands there gasping in his pajamas. But then suddenly, I hate you. You hear something, or think you hear something. Someone shouting, and then you've fallen flat on the floor. For a moment, you don't think you can get up. Your whole body feels heavy. Did he hit you? I hate you, says Michael. Leave me alone. You finally manage to sit up as he turns back to his game. You take a moment to collect yourself. We just go back to normal. Marcus 2 more going to be ignoring you. Alright, what's that say? You regret the kitchen trip early and now you have to go to the bathroom. Go on, we'll go to the bathroom. Oh, you realise there's something wrong with the toilet. The water in the bowl looks solid like glass. You attempt to turn the handle, nothing happens. But the toilet emits the sound of flashing anyway. You suddenly don't feel like having to go anymore. What is going on here? The closet is completely empty. The walls are a strange, untextured white. There is nothing in the shower, no bottles of soap or shampoo, and no shower head or faucet. It's just an empty box. Kitchen. Soda. So we talk to Michael again. Whatever, he says, baby. Nothing about Michael's on court 11:30. I don't think I've got much time for anything else. It's time. I don't want to play games anymore. Someone knocks at the front door. Follow? Oh, I felt as I was onto something. I feel as though we've got the same ending. Oh, I don't know. I thought we were onto something. Oh, that's frustrating. I've got to try again then. Michael's on call. Think about Mew. Go for all the different options. Snap out. You're in the den. We'll remember my Mew. Fierce. The real Mew. Jealous. Uneasy. Think hard about the brother. I don't picture your brother, but I remember him. Popcorn. Ask about Uncle's visit. Uncle coming. I thought he worked for Nintendo. Does Nintendo have a lot of business here? Sort of business. I'm not sure I believe you about your uncle. I don't believe your uncle works for Nintendo. Involuntary flinch. Never mind. You take a breather. I've got a missing option there. That's interesting. Let's go about the storm. Ah, you remember the storm, says Michael. Yeah, you say, nodding. But no one remembers the storm, he says. Could you please stop messing with me? Michael shakes his head. No, you don't understand. Please, I'm not messing with you. But this is important. This is different. Something's different. He said no one remembered the storm. Who? He came out of the storm. I was home alone, Michael begins, his eyes growing distant. Mom was at work. Dad was out at the bar. I answered the door when the knocking started. He said he was lost and hungry. He said he could help me. All I had to do was to feed him. Feed me. Michael tenses. What is that? It's my uncle, Michael says. Well, that's what he told me to call him. I don't really know. I don't know what it is. What did he do? He changed things, says Michael. He said he could make things happen any way I wanted them to. That I could always be the best, as long as I fed him. Fed him? Michael looks at you, his eyes watering. For a long time he doesn't say anything, and then suddenly you understand. I don't believe you. You don't have to, says Michael. He's already on his way. I'm going home. No, Michael says. You can't. He's already on the way. No. There it is, like a voice. Not something you hear exactly, but still somewhere in the back of your head. Michael heard it too. See? He asks. See? He's almost here. I'm calling my mother. Call Mom. She picks up 3 rings. Things are really weird here. I just want to go home. Thank you. Return to the den. Michael's sitting on the floor as you come in. You're leaving, aren't you? This joke you're playing is really mean. Should have known it was different. You were remembering too much. If your uncle's so powerful, why can't he just keep me here? He gets weak. He can't do as much. Is that why things have been different? Is he weaker now? Please, says Michael. Please don't go. I've never not fed him, and if I don't, I'm not sure what will happen. Do you just want me to get eaten or whatever? No, please no, he replies. It's not. I think he'll kill me. Do you understand? He would have killed me if I didn't. Continue packing silence. Why could you hear him? He asks, but it doesn't seem like he expects you to answer. You both lapse into an awkward silence. Eventually, a car honks outside. You get up to leave. Michael wandered over to the fireplace. I was looking into its unlit depths as you walk out the door and into the night. The sister's familiar car is parked out front. As you walk closer. Okay, we read all this. The front door is closed. The lights in the den are still burning. As the sister pulls away from the house, you stare out the window at Michael's house. The lights blurred and magnified by the rain streaming down the glass. Ooh, you find out the next afternoon about the fire. It started in the den, said the papers, where there was known to be a fireplace. Apparently it was left smouldering in the night. There were no survivors. Arson is suspected, since an accelerant would have helped the flames overcome the night's heavy rains, but nothing definitive is ever publicly released on this account. One day after school, you ride your bike to check it out. Parts of the house still stand, walls and beams blackened by the flames. Yellow caution tape has been looped around the outside, and the rubble hasn't yet been totally cleared out by the city. You decide to investigate. The second floor has either mostly burned away or fallen through. But standing in what used to be the den, you look up to the hole that would have been Michael's room. The broken glass and charred drywall crunch beneath your feet until you step on something that isn't glass. You look down. There, in the mess, is what looks like a Game Boy. It's a Game Boy Color. Not at all scuffed or damaged. In the back is a single cartridge, a copy of Pokemon Blue. I had Pokemon Blue. You take Michael's Game Boy. Looking from side to side, as if anyone might actually be watching, you pick up the Game Boy and flick on the power switch. After clicking through the Pokemon intro screens, you find there is no save game on the cart. It's like a brand new copy. You turn off the Game Boy and stuffing it into your pocket, return home. Your mom is standing in the kitchen when you arrive doing dishes, and your little sister is watching some annoying cartoon. Remember to take a bath and get dressed before 7, Mom calls. Remember? You're fairly certain she never told you to do that in the first place. You walk into the kitchen, dropping your backpack on the linoleum floor. Why do I need to do all that? Silly, she says. Your mum turns around from the sink to smile at you. Your throat tightens when you see how glassy and empty her eyes are. Don't you remember? She asks. Your uncle is coming over for dinner to celebrate his new job. There we go. All got a thing there. What's that do? Repetition with a difference. It is not the time for running. Go where you're not wanted. Go where you've been told you can't go. Okay. So we've still got... I imagine that ending 4 is the same one we just did, but I guess we didn't pick up the Game Boy. Right, let's see if we can get that ending. We'll try and blitz through it all again. We'll do some ambient music in the background with this. I'll have a look so we can get some royalty-free spooky music. Look for the uncle. Clock chimes. You're back in the den. Remember Mimiu? Yeah, I had an action replay. I can't remember I actually had one for the Game Boy. Yeah, I did. I remember it was a yellow thing. It came with just a gigantic sheet of cheats for Pokemon. It had other games as well, but it was like one side had like a bunch of different games, the other side was just Pokemon. So like they knew that people were buying it for Pokemon. You buy it for Pokemon, but use it for other things. Right, we can do the brother. Let's talk about the brother. Well, aren't there any pictures, but I remember him. We need to ask him about the storm. Or about the uncle's visit. Might not need to ask about the storm. Why's your uncle coming? I thought he worked for Nintendo. What sort of business? Why would somebody flinch? Oh, did we need to like ask him about the storm before we do all that? I don't get the bit with the storm. I guess I might have missed. It. Go to the kitchen. Oh, I've got an idea of how I might be able to do that other ending. Clock chimes, it's raining. 11, so I just need to waste a bit more time. Stop being weird. So knocks at the front door. Will be scarce. We'll run to the kitchen. Yes, there we go. Go anyway. What? You go to the kitchen. No, child. There's not much of a "this is not allowed, child." Tell the uncle to be quiet. Just ignore him. It falls silent for the moment. It has grown weak since you haven't been feeding it. Take out the Game Boy. From your pocket, you pull Michael's Game Boy Color. The uncle is somewhere behind the half-textured walls, grumbling to itself. Turn on the Game Boy. Oh, please have the sound effect. Oh, I was really hoping for that classic Game Boy sound effect. Oh, come on. This isn't the time to use that, of course. Save. Options. Fast, you're 11 years old, best friend's name. Oh, so fast. In the corner of grandfather, Michael is parked in front of the large TV, playing something on the Nintendo 64. Suddenly he jumps, as if he scared him by entering when you did. What was that? I know about the uncle. Michael blinks uneasily at you. I don't know what. I mean, what are you talking about? I used it to come back here. Stop this, stop this, stop this. Michael looks around uneasily. I hear it too. How is this happening? Michael asks. I'm starving it to death. Oh, it's going crazy. What are you here for? What are you doing? The rain outside increases in tempo. Bad children, bad. I come back so we can stop it. Blah, 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 blah. How did you do that? It's weak. But it changed so much. Not really. But all the others are gone. Gone. Says Michael, they're gone. It doesn't eat at all. It doesn't eat all at once. It's slow. It takes years. We're all here. I made so many. My parents, my brother. I don't deserve it. Why did you come back for me? Suddenly Michael is crying. Why did you come back for me? Because I think we can stop this. Things are starting to change. The uncle, the thing that calls itself an uncle, is either on the verge of death or making a final gamble to stop either of you from leaving. Michael is still crying. Take Michael's hand. Michael looks up at you. You really came back for me? You really think we can do this? Wants us to hate each other. With a sad smile, he nods. Okay, let's go. Exit. No, 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 no. Oh, I don't really want to click on any of these. Am I going to have to? I guess so. We'll click on beverage. I'll click on everything. Oh, it's all making sense now. I'm sorry, we're hurting. I did not listen. We can become something else if we're willing to fight for it. You are my friend. No more games. You are my friend, and I am here for you. The uncle who works for Nintendo. Guess we click that and get a new game. You and Michael defeated the uncle who works for Nintendo. We did it, we won. I kind of want to get the last ending just to finish it. Oh, but I can't. I guess it's locked forever. Oh, well, that's fine. You've unlocked the author's notes. On creepypasta. Game has been over. I'll let you guys read that. You can download this game on itch.io. The uncle works for Nintendo. That's kind of cool. I like the sort of meta games that try and be. Like, it didn't take itself seriously, which I like. I think when games try to be meta, some of them take it too seriously. But I quite enjoyed that. A little mystique of Pokemon sort of tries to teleport me back to my childhood. You know, like I didn't have anyone that sort of said like, you know, I know someone who works for Nintendo or anything like that. Although my dad, when he bought me Zelda: A Link to the Past on Super Nintendo, he did say, because he bought it for me for my birthday, and he put it in the console before I was even out of bed, and handed me the controller, and it already had my name on there. And he said to me that he got Nintendo to put my name on there for me, because I was too young and dumb to realise that he probably played the game first, so he could try it, because he could not wait to play it and didn't want to wait for my birthday. He'd say he was just testing the game to make sure it worked. So yeah, there we go. That's the Uncle Works for Nintendo. Hope you enjoyed that. Very quiet game. It did say that it uses noise. There was literally just like half a dozen sound effects. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be or what. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and we'll be back for another video soon. Farewell.